Welcome to 2 Minutes of Gaming, where we talk about the top video game topics of the month for 2 minutes at a time. I'm your host, Keenan, and today I'm joined by two guests.
Oh, Justin here, tacosandgeeks.com, creator of the Gaius universe.
Jason over here. Glad to be on the show. Thank you very much.
And for those who don't know, we had to bring Jason on. He is Assassin's Creed and wrestling expert, and these are some of the topics for this show. So I definitely wanted to have him on. But before we get into those topics, I wanted to start out with the hottest news in video gaming right now, the PlayStation 5 tech demo. For those who haven't seen it, basically Unreal, which is a video game engine, which I actually might switch to, which is another story. That's a whole nother topic for another show. But they just released I think it's like 5-minute demo, and then also did a huge one-on-one with Jeff Keighley and kind of went over some of the PlayStation 5 specs, and actually had their tech demo, which was a full game, running on PlayStation 5. So some people were really impressed. Some people said it's just a tech demo. It doesn't mean much. We're here to find out, what do you guys think? Justin, you can start us off. 2 minutes on the clock.
I was actually blown away with the tech demo. And for me, like, everybody was talking about the gameplay. Yeah, the game looked cool. But for me, when you do tech demos, I want to see how the environment looks, how the precipitation looks, how the lighting is, how you're going to do camera angles, things like that. Because I think the environment has to speak when you do a tech demo to actually show the power of an actual new engine or a new system. And what I was really amazed by the tech demo is actually the landscapes of these mountains, these rocks, how detailed the rocks were. I was just like, man, this looks. I mean, the character designs, I didn't really see too much difference from PS4 to PS5 from that demo with the girl. But the environment is what really screamed out to me. I was like, yo, this is going to be something special. And from what I'm hearing, allegedly the PS5 is supposed to be more stronger than some of your actual PCs. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I loved it. I love the tech demo. Like Justin said, the scenery, the environment, it looks so realistic. It's like you're actually there. The graphics is ridiculous, if you ask me. And if this is what the PS5 is going to be like using that engine, man, it's unstoppable. That's what I gotta say about that.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because I'm somebody who I love to watch. Back when Dreamcast had like the most amazing tech demos, and then PS2 I remember had a tech demo, and I wasn't the 360 had the one with the ducks and all that, but nonetheless, a lot of these tech demos are in like closed environments, and so a lot of times they like show a lot of like false positives, but this is in a full world, and that's why I'm excited for it. So I think it's great news. All right, and a more sadder note, or maybe not sad note. WWE 2K21 was canceled, and a new game, a new series was born, WWE Battlegrounds. Now, Jason, I'm excited to hear what you got to say, but let's start out with Justin, who's also big into wrestling games as well, and he actually has been buying the recent 2Ks with WWE. So, Justin, what's your thoughts on this?
Last WWE game was 2K19. I did not buy 20 after looking at those reviews.
Okay.
And I think it is great that this 2K is getting delayed, because if you guys remember back in the days, wrestling games didn't used to come out every year. We had to wait at least 2 to 3 years for Day of Reckoning 2 and vice versa and things like that. I personally do not, and this Battlegrounds just reminds me of In Your House. So, I mean, In Your House, or what was that, WWE Superstars, the one with they were gigantically big. I can't remember what the exact title was, but it's the one that's very arcadey and had all the legends in it. But yeah, I'm happy that 2K, hopefully they can get a new engine with this and make their own, start from the ground up, actually improve on the broadcast and things like that, actually take their time. But as far as this, I mean, if you like those arcade type of wrestling games, it looks completely trash to me. Have at it, but it reminds me too much of In Your House.
Yeah, it's a disappointment. I'm glad 2K was canceled, like Justin said, so that way they could perfect the aura of the WWE wrestling game. And this new game, Battlegrounds, is beyond trash to me. And it reminds me of the Royal Rumble for Dreamcast, where you would just be in one arena, then you transfer to another arena, transport to another arena, and that's like Justin said, an archaic style. And coming from going to the first wrestling game from Nintendo with WrestleMania to now, it's like kind of we going backwards. We supposed to be involved when we're doing these wrestling games, and it's just very disappointing to me.
The game's a filler. Let's just be real. It's a filler, so WWE can, I guess, 2K can keep the contract of having a wrestling game every year. So this is just a complete filler. But the question is, have they been working on this since 2K20? Was this always in the works? So, I mean, I don't know who asked for this, but
and
AEW.
Before y'all go to the next topic, I agree with Cody Rhodes saying that AEW, they're going to take their time with their game because they don't want it to be like 2K. So I'm looking forward to see if AEW would take it back to somewhat on like the No Mercy type of game style, and what type of engine they would use for their game, because they also in competition with WWE and they don't want to fail too. So even though the fans want an AEW game, we just gonna have to sit back and wait to see.
Hope so. On a very positive note, Streets of Rage 4 came out and to great reviews. But my question as two OG gamers who actually, quick side story. One of my coworkers, he's probably watching this, he didn't even know what Streets of Rage was.
Wow.
It's crazy. And he's like 20, he's like 22. So a lot of these understandable. But a lot of these young kids don't really understand the greatness of Streets of Rage, but you guys too. So did Streets of Rage 4 continue its legacy properly? Did it live up to the hype? What you guys thoughts? Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, it did. It brought, to me, I say this is more in keen to 1 when it comes to difficulty, because this game was hard. This game was tough depending on what level you play it on. But it reminds me a lot of 2, obviously, when it comes to gameplay. I think it was more of the spirit of 2, especially with the fight mechanics. Mm-hmm. Cherry, I think Cherry is amazing. Blaze was amazing. Was disappointed with Axel. Yeah. I thought I guess they wanted him to be like that seasonal veteran, but I felt he was a little too bulky and too slow. But I loved it, man. My favorite level is the subway level. I just love the use of that background, the lighting. I mean, that's probably one of the shortest levels, but I absolutely adored it. I think it definitely lived up to the hype. Story-wise, it's Streets of Rage. I mean, it's not gonna be like characterization and everything like that. Simple premise, simple concept. Definitely, I highly recommend it. If you got the Switch, get it for the Switch, PS4, whatever you play it on. Definitely support Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, I think Streets of Rage 4 lived up to the hype. The graphics is real good too. The gameplay is excellent. My favorite character is Blaze. Mm-hmm. The game is really hard. I'm on normal and I'm stuck at the pier, so I keep using different characters, but Blaze is the best. I'm kind of disappointed in Axel. I thought they could have did more with him. But overall, the game is good, storyline is good, and there's more to do after you beat the story mode as well. So I'm just looking forward to finally beating the game, getting past the board that I'm stuck on at the pier. And, it's frustrating sometimes. You be playing the game, and then all of a sudden you lose. You're like, come on, So it's very frustrating. But overall, the game is great. They did a good job on the remake.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating, but it's like an old school, like, hey, I died, I got to start this over. So it's actually fun. I love it. I'm with you guys. Microsoft had a huge Xbox Series 1 reveal. I guess it wasn't that huge, but nonetheless, one of the big games that came out of it was Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Justin, we'll start you off because I'm definitely going to save the best for last with the Assassin's Creed expert over there. So, Justin, what's your thoughts on this, and in Microsoft overall their presentation?
Still hasn't sold me, and it still hasn't sold me. I watched the presentation, like, okay, but it's nothing really gripping me to like jump ship yet. And I know some of our viewers and people that watch us that know me be like, he's just such a Sony fanboy and Nintendo fanboy anyway. He's never gonna jump. No, I would actually try next generation console. I would try to see if I can get all three. But I'm not seeing anything game wise for me to say, hey, I'm gonna invest in this. I'm gonna spend some money on this and get an Xbox system. So right now, not really impressed. As far as Assassin's Creed go, it's a cinematic trailer. I think they did recently release some gameplay with it. Looks good. For those who like the Norse mythology, especially after playing God of War, I'm looking forward to it. It looks promising.
Well, I have to say, being an Assassin's Creed fan from playing Assassin's Creed for many years, I am excited about this new game with playing the historic Vikings. All the Assassin's Creeds, from what I gathered, tie into each other about the Brotherhood. The last one, which I'm still currently playing, the Odyssey, goes into that with the Brotherhood as well. The one before that was the Origins that originate the Brotherhood, which takes place in Egypt. And one thing I like about Assassin's Creed is, because I'm a history buff, is they use historical events and historical characters. So it's a beautiful game. I love it. The new one with the Vikings, the graphics look great. And I'm just looking forward to playing that one as well as I played the other Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah, I agree with you, Justin. I think coming off the back of God of War, what they did, I think everyone's Viking crazy right now. So,
yeah,
dude, great move, a great strategy for them. So, all right, we're gonna, every show I like to throw a retro topic in, kind of bring it back a little bit. But this one, with E3 around the corner, with digital E3, a lot of rumors have been coming out about a new Batman game, whether it happens or not. But what are you guys' 3 favorite Batman games?
First one, number 1 is Arkham City, best Batman game ever made. From story standpoint, graphics, they used the Rogues Gallery perfectly to a T. Secondly, I will definitely go with Batman Vengeance. As much as I love Arkham City, but if anybody captures the spirit of the Batman animated series from a story standpoint and the way the graphics were, it's definitely Batman Vengeance. And a controversial one is Batman and Robin for the PlayStation 1, which many people say is complete trash, but hear me out. Go check out my video on Tacos and Geeks YouTube channel, Batman and Robin. Great concept, poor execution. You will see that a lot of stuff that they added in there was never done in a Batman game. Full open world Gotham. Having to find clues to find out the next cape for Freeze or Poison Ivy. You had vehicles. It was just poorly executed, but I still play it to this day. So it's one of my favorites, no matter how trash it is. Rest in peace, Acclaim.
Well, my top 3 of all time, I would have to say, is the animated series of Batman and Robin for Sega. And just, we used to play that religiously on the
Broke
Sega
our controller.
Yes. And this is when the animated series was at its peak, and they came out with this game which was just mind-blowing. The second one, I also have to say, is Batman Vengeance, the first Batman game for GameCube. It took the animated series up to another notch, and it was beautiful. I liked it. Then my last one, I'll have to go with the Arkham series of Batman. It's just the best.
I'm just happy you say Batman Forever.
No.
I don't know, it was a big surprise. But I agree with you. Before we transition to the last topic, I was going to mention that as well, Jason. The Genesis version of the Adventures of Batman and Robin, amazing game, super underrated.
Yes.
Justin, I'm going to go, you might be shocked on this one, and Jason, I know you hate this game, but I love it. Arkham Knight. I love that game so much. And Jason, I actually do love the Batmobile.
Oh, man, that That Batmobile was pissing me off. I had to stop playing that game because I kept getting heated with that Batmobile.
and you should retry it. But anyway, my
You really
third,
should.
my third and final would be for me again, not best but favorite, would be Batman on the NES. That game.
Oh wow!
Back in the days, that's when the Jack Nicholson movie came out. We were Batman crazy as a kid. That game, even to this day, that game was actually still pretty good. But it was just phenomenal. Quick story before we transition. We thought, me and my brother thought we were smart, so we would wake up at 5 a.m. before school, and we would play Batman on mute, have the TV on mute. So somehow my grandmother got up early and she heard us like throwing a control or something. She opened the door, beat us, took the Nintendo, took the Batman, and we were punished. We didn't have a Nintendo for weeks because we were trying to sneak and play Batman before school. So I love that game, to say the least. I got beat for it. All right, last round, freestyle round. As you guys know, for those who are new to the show, we take this last round and they can talk about, what are they playing or anything that we might have missed in the show. So freestyle round, Justin, what you got?
Folks, I will have to say this for my Switch owners. First of all, Keenan, I love the Switch. I know I'm gonna probably keep praising it for future episodes, but the sales are absolutely the best out of all three. I mean, I got Night Trap, I got Cosmic Heroine again, I got Dust Diver, which is something I was about Dust Diver, which I'm going to talk about right now. There are so many hidden gems on the Switch. This game is kind of a mix of same art style like Persona with a little bit of Dynasty Warriors in it, and it's an RPG element story. Love the graphics, great composition with music. It's very underrated. It's like, I think $30 right now. It's like at least 20% off. It's like $30 right now. I will definitely highly recommend it before the sale ends later this week. Yep. And what else am I playing? Oh, Breath of the Wild. I have to say this is probably is the best. Twilight Princess is still my favorite Zelda game, but Breath of the Wild is getting this close to taking over. It's the most frustrating Zelda game I've ever played in my life, but I am enjoying it.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah, so I'm just still kind of trying to beat the board at in Streets of Rage 4. I'm at the pier, so I'm working on that. I'm working on doing other missions in the Odyssey game, and because that game, one thing about Assassin's Creed, their games is long. And it's an open world, and you got the main missions, and then you got the side missions too. So you could be playing that game for 16 hours straight, and still want to play more. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I don't know if y'all remember back in the days where I used to write Acclaim and tell them how to make a wrestling game. Still to this day, they have not taken my advice on how to make a good wrestling game. And this is why the game is coming out trash.
Well, Acclaim is closed, but
yeah,
you should write not THQ. They're closed too. My bad. 2K. So, but now here's the thing, man. A couple things, Justin. So I actually I just bought it recently. You'll see me playing it. Also got Night Trap for Switch as well.
Yeah.
So I was playing Cosmic Heroine, which was really, really, I'm actually playing it on hard. Really enjoyable, but for some reason it made me want to download Trials of Mana. So I played the demo. Justin, I played the demo for 3 hours, people. The demo is 3 hours long. You could rush through it, but I played it for 3 hours. That's how long the demo is. So I played the demo for 3 hours, loved it, and I just bought the full game. So I got the full game. So yeah, and it wasn't on sale, but I really wanted to support those type of, JRPGs, old school, but still refreshed. So which is really cool.
I'm thinking about getting the Grandia collection next.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to get in that too. And then lastly, I just want to say Paper Mario was announced, which was the best announcement. It was they showed the trailer and then announced that it's coming out this summer, which is amazing. So I'm actually really excited about that because I was thinking like, damn, we might hit a drought at some point because I'm not getting new systems anytime soon. But Paper Mario is a game that I'm sure will hold us for 30 hours at least. So, but any last words, guys, before we head out?
Game on.
Game on. Thank you, Jason, specifically for joining us this episode. Appreciate your expertise. For having me. Yeah, and people, till next time.
Later days.
Out.